Hello, everybody. We're here live and in color. This is Cornerstone Tuesday night life class. And I am Tony Sawyer, and this is my husband. What's your name?
Pudding.
Puddin is his name.
Hello out there, you little puddings, all the puddings.
And we are here to have a discussion regarding our spiritual journey, our discoveries, and we want you to join us. And Tanya's the early bird. She is here, bright and cheery. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Deb.
Deb, I'll see you Thursday.
Thursday?
Is it Thursday or Friday?
He doesn't know. I don't either. Is it Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
It's Thursday? You know you got a Zoom on Thursday at 12. I thought you saw her on Friday.
Friday. Okay. I'll see you Friday, Deb.
We'll get Friday. It together in a minute.
Be there Friday.
He'll be there Friday. I wanted him to be here for a delivery, but he's going to be gone. But anyway, hey, y'all. Hey, Sandra and Diane.
Diane, Linda.
And Tanya says Pudding Tang. That's your name.
Pudding.
Hello, Linda, my sweetie pie.
Yes.
Hey, Sister Chris. No, that's not Sister Chris. That's Lori. Mm-hmm. All righty. She said, okay, Friday.
Okay.
I don't think she cares which day you come.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, my sister, my brother-in-law.
Jill.
Hey, Miss Jill. Hope you guys are doing okay. We've had a beautiful day today. We've been working in the yard most of the day. And we're sore, so we had to take pain pills and soak our feet and all that stuff last night so I wouldn't be hurting today. Anyway, that's another story. That's a life story right there. We're here, and let's begin to center in. I don't know about your day, how your day has been, but we're going to center in and find ourselves at the core of our being. So I want you to just settle down. And we're going to make some affirmations, some I am affirmations. And I want you to repeat after me. I am the mystical self. I am the knowing self. I am the settled self. I am the complete self. I am the blessed self. I am the true self. I am the life-giving self. I am the divine self. I am the highest self. I am the holy self. I am the absolute self. I am the infinite self. I am the unborn self. I am the pre-earth self. I am the omnipotent self. I am the omniscient self. I am the omnipresent self. I am the elegant self. I am the nameless self. I am the ageless self. I am the aware self. I am the unconditioned self. I am the I am. I am the I am. And so it is.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Yeah, you go ahead. You're ready. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set, go.
Let's see. Mm-hmm. Well, you guys out there, there's a place where stillness speaks, and I think it has preeminence over noise. Some of the greatest things take place in stillness.
Yeah, that's true. We've heard it said so many times that knowledge is power. And I'm beginning to understand that it's not knowledge that's power. Well, knowledge is power, but knowledge about yourself is empowerment. You're not empowered until you know yourself. And so we we have spent a lot of time cramming information into our minds, but we haven't looked into the depths of our being to find out more about ourselves. And as we do that, looking within in our inner journey, rather than trying to find God outside or trying to find answers outside ourselves outwardly, when you turn inward, that's when you find yourself. And as you find yourself, you will find God, because there is nothing else, no thing else that exists but God in all of these myriad forms.
Mm-hmm.
It's all God.
Mm-hmm.
It's all God.
Yesterday, this morning, I was investigating a little bit into the original translation of the book.
Which book is that?
Biblical, Ibical, Skibical.
The biblical one?
And the discoveries that was made about salvation, and it was really originally before Constantine changed it.
Mm-hmm.
The King James Version was not like it is today.
It's true.
And he changed it. And the mystics.
It's been through a lot of hands.
Yes, it has. So the mystical side of Jesus or Christ teaches that the mystic knowledge, the knowledge of the mystic, teaches that salvation takes place when one begins to wake up to his true identity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The mystic is one that searches into God, into the parts of God or the parts of himself. And in the mystic area, when one discovers the true meaning of the Son of God, or the sons of God, he finds out that he is a son of God, and salvation takes place and is made aware of through expressing that mystical side of himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm beginning to understand too that
that's the original translation.
Yeah. And in the early church, it was I'm sure it was nothing like church today.
No.
For one thing, Jesus didn't have but 12 followers,
Mm-hmm.
and we look for hundreds and thousands of followers on Facebook and YouTube, so and Instagram and all of that. Jesus only had 12.
Yeah.
He only had 12. So things are so much different now. To be a mystic in this 21st century kind of sets you apart from a lot of the mainstream Christendom. I'll say it like that. and the two don't gel. And I remember there was a book a long time ago we got a
Mhm.
Christian book. I don't know,
Mhm.
I don't remember who wrote it, but it was called The Desert Fathers,
Mm-hmm.
about the Christian mystic. The Desert Fathers
Mm-hmm.
were those
Mm-hmm.
seasoned mystics that
Mm-hmm.
were hidden. They were not well known,
Yeah.
but they sought an ultimate union with
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they wanted, an ultimate union with
They
God.
searched. They went into God this way
Yes.
and then out this way.
Mhm. And they didn't confine their experiences to the sacred text.
Right.
The experiences preceded the text,
Right.
and then they understood the text through the experience.
Right.
Nowadays, we get the text, we get the Bible, the word they call the word of God, and then everything's confined to what I know mentally about that word. And so it prevents people, and causes people to not experience things for fear that they're out of line, or they're going into error, or some other type of spirit that they're going to be contaminated by.
Here's a good one. Before you wake up, you're like this towel that I have. You're just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you wake up and let go and to your true identity, it unravels itself like this.
Mm-hmm. And there's a limpness that happens. Yes.
That's it. Now,
yes.
before you wake up, you are struggling, you're working,
Mm-hmm.
you're sweating, and you're laboring to enter in. But it shouldn't be that way. It should be like this.
You're analyzing.
It should be like this.
You're analyzing. You're calculating.
Right.
You're trying to figure out
Right.
all of those things. Yes.
And I didn't get into it much, but it was enough. And you'll find out as you get into this true identity, you find out how connected to God you have always been,
Mm-hmm.
and how
Mm-hmm.
you cannot ever, and not anyone can ever be disconnected from God, because in the originality of your true essence, you are the books that were taken out of the original. You are the book that could not be put on paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are the books and the pages with no writing on them.
Yes.
Can I say that again? You are the books,
yeah,
and the missing pages of the Bible. But you cannot hear what I'm saying until you hit the bypass system of the physical and really get into this area of the mystical side of yourself. And in that mystical side of yourself, there will not be much said, but it will be more intuition perceived and expressed through what my brother Israel said.
surrender.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It will be yes, a silent yes in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You will find out that in the original, when you come to know yourself, it is then that you will know that you and everybody that's connected to your eternal self is already a son and daughter of God.
Of course.
With or without the approval of the canon.
And exactly. And as being a son and a daughter of God, I want to take it out of the context of parent and child. A son and a daughter is, in essence, a broken off piece of the same, a projected mini me. And it is, while God is the presence, we are the representing of that presence.
That's good.
And I don't think that, well, I know that there are no restrictions on our expression. And I say that because I'm thinking in regard to a child when it's in its innocent state, has not been conditioned by right and wrong yet, has not been preached to, governed, just nurtured. That child is free to express itself in whatever way it chooses, and there's no judgment against it.
From my understanding, 45 books, give or take a little, was omitted from the original canon. 45.
And tampered with. Yes.
For manipulation and control.
To control the masses.
The masses.
Yes.
And I can hear all of you out there in the yeses saying in stillness, yes.
So having said that, Pastor, our allegiance is not to a book, a sacred text.
That's true.
I don't care if it's the Bible or if it's the course or if it's the Quran. It doesn't matter what text is. If it's a sacred text, your allegiance is not to that text. Your allegiance is to the one who produced the text. And your allegiance is not to that ink and paper.
In the original translation, it expressed how God is already in every man by essence of the eternal self.
Yes, yes.
Now, when you start looking into these areas, you're going to wake up a sleeping giant. You're going to wake up, your true identity comes to the forefront, and the battle begins in the mind. The mind refuses to allow the heart to take the seat.
Yes, yes. And when that happens, there is an unlearning that begins to take place. And you have to unlearn before you can relearn. And a lot of us are trying to learn new things, trying to learn, but we have to unlearn first. And all of the things that have been put into us that have been really limiting our pure self, limiting us from being able to even envision ourselves as that, limiting us from having the understanding of what we actually are in our essence. So that unlearning has to take place, and that's that can be a kind of scary place when that unlearning starts to take place, because all of the things you based your whole life on begins to unravel.
How many spirit beings are entwined and interwoven into the fabric of our beings?
Yes.
Beyond human beings, but just beings. Our gold treasure in these earthen vessels is the excellence of the power of God in its true flow from the mother lode is the place where the gold originates.
Yeah.
My Lord, my Lord.
Yeah.
Talk to me, somebody out there. Kick it back. Breaker 19, come on. Bring it on home to the home base. Because there is a river that flows in our veins, and that bloodline has never stopped and cannot be stopped, because the closing of brick and mortar and ink and paper. The paper, I remember over there on the other side, when I come back over here, I wanted to grab the paper. It was a cloth-like fabric, and I pulled it over here. And as soon as it got closer to this rim, it disintegrated in my hands. But I found the missing pages. Y'all hear me now? I found the missing pages. And I zipped me open. I zipped God open. I zipped Jesus open. And I found the missing pages. And I'm talking to it on this telecast right now. I'm talking to the missing pages of the Bible.
Yes.
I'm talking to the King version without the James on the end of it. Brother Dixon, it's all about your eternal self.
So we have moved away from the Newtonian age, and we're now in what we call this quantum age. And in this quantum age, we are no longer waiting for something to happen. We're beginning to understand that we are the effect, the cause of every effect.
Yes.
We are the cause of every effect.
Yes.
Just as when in the case of Adam, if the story is correct, in Genesis, what he did affected all of humanity. What he did affected the earth. If the story is true. But it's a good analogy, even if it's not true. So we are the cause of every effect.
The cause of us, and because of us, recognizing our true self, guidance is omitted. Now listen, I want you to hear this.
Or recontextualized.
Or you might say that, yeah. Let me tell you something. It is so easy for the expression of yes to come out of you.
Yes, it is.
When you take a deep breath, before my mama left her body to go into her true identity.
To exit this body.
To exit this suit.
Yeah.
I heard somebody
which she struggled
say,
hard to keep.
She did. and the she that was struggling, I have seen it again from the other side in the split off that she went through. That part of her that was struggling to stay here, I saw it. I saw it over here, and I met it here in my house. And it was trying to convince me that it was still her struggling. And I said, we will not have that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I said, no, Now, here it is. You are the deliverance power of God, already seen and known. You have a family in the spirit world that is assisting you from the other side.
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
And it's right there in the room with you. It ain't over across town. It ain't in the boss man's suit. But it's in the suit that the boss man done woke up to.
Yeah.
And when you wake up to your true identity, you wake up to your whole family in one place.
Yeah. You wake up to your many selves.
Yeah. Ooh.
Your many selves in other forms. And in other dimensions. And in other times. You wake up to all of that. And I wanted to look up, use something here that Jackie said. Jackie Allergy, hey Jackie, she says, anyone else feeling some crazy highs and lows these past few weeks? I want to say this, Jackie. I don't know if anybody is, but I do know that when you have those crazy highs and lows, it means you must be getting close to a discovery that the mind is afraid of. And I call it a near-death experience of the mind.
Wow, I like that.
And Jill commented on it. She said, my daughter said on her job yesterday, some people were in high spirits and others were in the dumps. I think, too, that what we are experiencing is the collective frequency that's in our country right now, because there's a lot of excitement about things reopening, but at the same time, there's fear going around as well. And some things are happening that are negative, is more negative. And so that's what you're feeling. You're picking it all up. You're like a receptor. You're picking it all up.
I find myself in my closet on an effortless basis. And I find myself rescheduled on the sacred contracts of the script
Mm, mm,
as I begin to go toward enlightened awareness
okay.
of my, I'm going to say this, my Alexandra self.
You're Alexander.
Yeah. My Einstein self. My infinite wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm saying all these words because I want you to know there is, I have to say it again, there's a river that flows from your innermost being that never stops.
Mm-hmm.
It is it is water that speaks through the ripples in everyday life.
Mm.
And these ripples in everyday life is what is telling you that it has a message in these ripples.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Jackie, this is the ripples that you're experiencing is the water. Okay, you ready for this? It's the water that's flowing over the rocks.
Yes.
That's prophesying and speaking to you.
Yes.
Glory be to God. And they are telling you that everything that the water flows over is under the control of the mystical side of your non-involuntary self. In other words, there is a part of you that's working things that it don't want your mind to mess with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
the mind needs rest, and it'll kick
And it's
up,
not crazy.
it'll kick up dust because it needs rest as well,
It's
and
not
it's
crazy.
really trying to figure things out.
Right. That's right.
And so that's where a lot of the antagonism and anxiety, all of that comes from. Judy's asking us to speak more about the sacred contracts.
Oh, Lord, Miss Judy, listen at you.
Yeah, and I don't know where to start, Miss Judy.
Well, I'll tell you where we'll start. When Jesus made the statement, in order for the scripture to be fulfilled, what he was talking about in the scripture was not this book.
That's right. That's right.
I had a chance to look into, in my beginnings over 50 years ago, I looked into the pages of the investigation into why was I taken to a room where there was the room of knowledge and to the hall of wisdom and insight. And I didn't know that I was taken into my inner self. I was taken into my higher self. It was the part of me and the part of you that is the ancient, unaging, no ending self.
Oh, you were taken into your higher self.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, I got that.
And we sat down in the annuals. We are the annuals of many suits that we have worn. We have worn many suits, and with each suit came a warranty and a contract.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
This is the mystical side of the juice in many suits and many containers.
Also, Judy, I remember in one of the sessions you were asking about why some people go through such hardships and why some children are born deformed and all of those kinds of things. And I remember we were talking about the contract at that time, and I didn't stop to think, and I should have. Some things happen to people because it's their karmic propensity, or it could be a karmic debt, something that has to be played out. because there is some residue from a previous or not unresolved things from a previous lifetime. So it has to be played out. And it's not a punishment, but because I see it as a grace and a mercy. Some people don't believe in reincarnation, but I see the potential of reincarnation as a grace, because that's how we learn. When we go through something repeatedly, that's how we learn. Unfortunately, things that are hard is how we learn.
You are so used to making your bed in hell that eventually the ripples that come up in this, see, let's say it like this: in your sacred self, you are well acquainted with the bumps in the road that you spool. My God.
Yeah.
You are so acquainted with the bumps in the road that this time when the bumps come up, you smooth them out. What I want you to see, feel it all over me. What I want you to see is that these bumps, in this one, Miss Judy, you have to make yourself react to them because you are so smooth and cool that you are riding in the Cadillac of God.
Is it a pink Cadillac?
It is a Cadillac of God identity that you don't even pay any attention to these bumps in the road unless they are made noted to you because of the excellence of the shock and the suspension that your contract set up inside of you before coming over here. So you have to, oh my God, you have to have something. Oh God, you got to have something. Y'all listen to me. It's got to be more than what you had yesterday to get on your last nerve.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what used to mess with you don't mess with you now because you don't woke up just a little bit more. Now, that old commercial about Quaker Oats said, a tasket, what's inside my basket? A different kind of shredded wheat, and muffin is the name.
Years ago, you're gonna have another. You're gonna pop again.
I'm gonna pop in a minute now. Yeah.
Don't pop no more. Don't pop yet.
Oh my God!
Wait till we get around close to 8 o'clock, then you can pop. I wrote this. It's been years ago. Where as I contemplated life and what life is, and I just wrote this down. Life is a series of crises and simple pleasures. It's dotted with occasional tragedies. It's sprinkled with fleeting episodes of overwhelming joy. To appreciate it, we must look inside of each crisis to discover the opportunity for change. We must look inside each tragedy to bring what is most important into focus. We must look inside each simple pleasure to uncover the beauty that surrounds us.
That's right.
We must look inside each joyous moment to experience a little of heaven on earth.
That's right. Now
Fortunately, every day presents to us a means of evolving.
There you go.
To become the best person that we can be.
There you go.
So treat each day as though it were your last. And in the end, you will look back with no regret.
Yes.
And look forward with no fear or dread.
Yes.
Knowing that this chapter is closed and the next book will be even more glorious.
Now.
That's what life is to me.
Now, 10, 2, and 4. Breaker 1, 9. Now listen to this. Before you came into this story, you set it up at such a time that your infinite self saw fit.
Yes.
Through divine revelation, insight, and knowledge, infinite knowledge, You sat down with all of the incarnations.
Yes. Yes.
And you pointed out in each step that you were going to take in this dimension, Miss Judy. My God Almighty. You said, I'm going to put a bump over here and a bump over there and a lump over here and a crack over there. And you said, I'm going to set this thing up under divine auspices.
And challenge myself.
Yes, because the last million times I was there, it wasn't strong enough to stop me. I'm going to see what can stop me now. In other words, I carry around in me the poison of the snake.
And the antidote.
And the antidote in the same place. Lord have.
Whoa. You gonna pop?
I feel the pressure building up in my Pepsi Cola bottle about to blow the top. Now listen. You are the contract of God, designed in itself under pressure. You're under a different kind of pressure than you were yesterday. In the next 5 minutes, you getting ready to step. When you get up to make another step in this place, know this, that the footsteps of the righteous have been ordered. My God Almighty. Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
He's going to pop in a minute.
Oh, God, I feel this. Now, you are not a stranger to these speed bumps.
That's the truth. In fact, as our sacred contract, we set it up.
You are now the ocean, and the waves are the prophetic words of God speaking to you. Now watch this. The next incident that happens in your life in this dimension is going to tell you something about the next move of God in your awareness, and your evolution, toward a greater manifestation of consciousness.
Wow.
We're
feeling it over here. I hope you're feeling it over there.
Yes,
we're
Lord.
Feeling it over here. Oh, wow.
Mr. Israel.
Wow.
Come on to the golden gate. It is time for the gates of heaven inside of your heart to reveal the Son of God with every step you take. Look. You plotted and set it up.
Wow.
Every trap that they say the devil set up, you set it up and designed it to look like it was him so that you could beat him at every turn you make. Come on now. Let's walk this thing like it's supposed to be with the infinite knowledge of God. And let's just have fun with it.
And stop feeling like a victim.
Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy.
You are not a victim.
I'm going to run around the block a little bit.
These are challenges that you set up in your infinite mind because you know how infinite and how powerful you are actually. We're going to pop.
Blow this thing out of the socket. I want to call the electric man to come in, the electrician to come in and check all the plugs in our house. Our next door neighbor house caught on fire because they had a plug that was weak and it sparked in the wall. I want you to check the plugs in your past life reviews and make sure that you're good and grounded in those plugs, because you guys out there are getting ready to see the move of God in your awareness with the next speed bump or the next event that take place around you through finances, through people, through difficulty of health, and through your stimulus money, whatever you want to call it. It's going to speak to you about a greater opportunity for you to see God.
Yes.
As your true self.
Yes.
Baby doll.
Wow.
Baby doll.
Wow.
If you face the door, you're gonna find out that you are on both sides of the door, and at the same time, you are the door. And I saw a door. I was like Ezekiel. I went through a door in the spirit world, and the door spoke to me and told me that I wasn't the only one that knew how to get through it, but there was somebody else coming behind me that knew exactly how to get through. But the doorpost prophesied to me. The doorpost told me that it was designed for me to go through it. And the reason why it was designed for me to go through it was because I was on both sides of it at the same time.
That's right.
The mystical side of the door that Jesus said, I'm the door, the way, the truth, and the life. You are that.
Now, this man said he had nothing to say yesterday.
Oh,
now he's got a whole lot to say.
I
thought you didn't have anything to say.
I ain't gonna say. I'm through.
Phyllis Kendrick asked the question. Can we go answer her question?
Yeah, if I can, I will.
If we can, we will, Miss Phyllis. And that's she says, is part of evolution resolving your karmic responsibilities and having the peace that follows?
All right, now here's this, baby. Hear this. I want you to hear this. The key to the karmic debt in every speed bump is looking at it through the eyes of the infinite.
Yes.
That would automatically teach and show you the lesson in it. If you don't look at it right through the eyes of God, it'll stay there until it recognizes
until it is recognized.
Until it recognizes God's sight. Your sight, the insight of God reaches it.
It will remain in your experience until you recognize what's going on.
And here's what happened. Water under my house was looking for a way out.
Yeah, we had in our crawl space. We kept finding water under our crawl space. And you go ahead and finish the story.
And I went to Winston-Salem State College to hear a jazz guitarist play, my wife and I.
Winston-Salem State, yeah.
And it was a George Benson, jazz guitar player.
It was raining that night too.
It was raining it was raining like a cow waiting on a flat rock.
Yeah.
If
they've never seen a cow do that, then that's
you
really
missed something. You see a cow. So when I come out, a cow, when he waits on the flat rock or on dirt, it digs a ditch. So I come home and I told my wife, I said, honey, I think I'm gonna go up under the house and see if it's in the water. Check the water. I went under there, and when I was under there, it's where you can stand up as you go in. I saw a part of the dirt. Now somebody told me to dig down to where I hit the water table.
And you had tried all kinds of things to get that water to go in there, trying to redirect it and all of that stuff.
But I looked over to my right, and it was a bubble, like an artesian well bubbling up underground. And when I looked at it, the water, I went to my internal intuition, and I heard the water say, all I wanted was for you to dig a path for me to get out.
To not obstruct the flow.
And I was the one that the water trusted for its passage. Now listen to this. Each event that comes up in our life is a passage and an opening for the flow of your infinite self to come through.
Yes.
Through you looking at it through the eyes of your pure self.
Yes.
Because it will not submit to anything else but the sight of God looking through you or as you.
And it comes through so simply.
Yes.
Life is really simple.
Yes.
And knowing what to do comes really simply. And like we had, I don't know what it is this year for particularly, we've had a lot of little sweet ants, the little bitty ants. They come in the house, and we've seen them in different places. You know, we've been really battling those rascals, and I hate to kill them. And so this week, I said, okay, we're gonna have to do something with these ants. I thought we were just gonna have to spray the entire house or whatever. And I'm gonna say this: don't judge. But we went and got a half of a lemon cake. We did not need. We did not need that lemon cake, but we got it. And I think you ate one piece off of
Just
it.
one piece.
And he realized, I can't eat any more of this. I took the whole half of lemon cake and I threw it outside near the house. And the ants have been eating the lemon cake and they're not in the house. So it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I feed them and they're okay.
This is the wisdom that you've been working in the whole time. So now hear this. Hear this. You are now ready to make a motel in hell. David said, if I make my bed in hell, he's there. That means this. You are the there-ness and everywhere-ness, the God isness. And there's nowhere that you are not in any area of the universe that God is not. So you are the answer to everything that is now approaching you through mood, feeling, sight, earth, heaven, and hell is now, are you ready? Is now submitting to you because it done found out that you know how to look at it.
Yes.
Through the eyes of God.
Yes. And in response to your question, Miss Phyllis, yes, there are things that have to be resolved as far as your karmic responsibilities, but not something you have to be concerned about. When these issues come up, challenges, we call them challenges, come up, they are there for the purpose of evolution. So it's not something you have to figure out. But when they come up, taking the time to look at your own responses and your own reactions is where it's resolved, how it's resolved.
Peace is not something that is apart from you, Miss Phyllis. It is who you are, because, and put it like this, I don't want you to have to call God. I don't want you to have to look for God.
And beg for God.
I don't want you to have to search for God anymore. I don't want you to have to spend time alone with God to get something from Him that is no longer at a distance from you. In other words, the distance is the middleman, the middle ground, or the middleman. All your products are now distributed in all your products is now created and made and assembled in one place. Okay. You are the assembly of God in one place. Yes. I want to say that again. Yes. I want to say that. I want to keep messing with that because I want you to understand that there is no more a middleman in the way of your product. You have found out that you are making your product. You are the made product of the factory on the spot. Now, here's what causes you to understand more of your product. When you understand that you are a battery that never runs low on power or energy, you don't have to have cables anymore. You don't have to have hookups anymore. You don't have to have things to go out of whack in order for you to have a victory. That's what I want to say.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I want to say.
Yes.
You no longer have to have ups and downs. Like you said, y'all feel things up and down and wacky. That is a dimension that you really done got past. The only reason why you would say that, sweetheart, is because there's a part of the mind and the ego that wants to use the reminiscence of the old self to make you think that you have missed God. You can't do that, and I won't allow you to do it because I'm a part of your infinite victory. Yes. And I'm not going to allow you to let that interfere with your momentum. And you will, and as you strengthen, as your joints and sinews and your tendons strengthen, you can stand this thing. Whoa, that went again. That went again. That went again. You can stand the heat in the kitchen.
Linda asked this question, and it's a good question. And she says, is karma relearning what we failed to learn in the past?
I would say karma is a trick. Once you see the truth for who you are, karma is,
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Once you see who you are, karma is diminished or diminished.
We were watching on YouTube the other day a near-death experience because my husband he's been watching near-deathers for years, and he's done a lot of studies and research in that, and we've spoken for some of the chapters and all of that. There was a lady who had a near-death experience. When she crossed over, she had Christian beliefs. They had told her that she was going to be judged. When you die, you're going to be judged. God's going to judge you. You're going to stand before God and all of this stuff. And she said it surprised her that when she crossed over and left her body and she encountered this godly presence, this God presence, she said God never did judge her. He never did judge her, but she had a past life review, and in the past life review, it was all positive, nothing negative, nothing that says that she was wrong and all of that. But then she had a second life review, and when she had that second life review, he showed her all of the things that she did do that hurt other people, but it wasn't for the purpose of judging her. It was to show her how she could have done things differently. So if there is karma, if there is a residue from a previous lifetime of some lesson that needs to be learned, it is so that you can learn to do things differently. It is not to punish you. If you treated somebody bad, you're going to get treated bad next time. It's not like that. It's so that you will learn to do things differently.
Okay. Did I help you a little bit out there? Okay, good. Glad to hear that. Glad to know
now
that
I'm going to post what Elaine said, and it's long. She wrote a letter. Elaine says, yes, and yes. I looked at a challenge and decided that there was a reason for the challenge that was designed for me to grow. Once I decided to allow myself to grow from it and not focus on the challenge or the person challenging me, the outcome was awesome.
Okay. Now, you remember one thing, if the story is true, and it bears witness if it is, that Eve was taken out of Adam as a full being and not in parts.
Exactly.
The challenge that you're saying that grows is not coming from your pure self. It is a part of the human side of the mind that gives off the idea that we receive line upon line and precept upon precept. But you are the pure perception of wholeness, and that therefore you are fully aware that you don't grow. You just seem like you're growing. But the test of it is finding out that you didn't grow, but that you set it up like this so that it appear that it's growing, so that you can go into the next phase and see the rest of what you have always been.
Yes, and that you that would respond in a way other than seeing it as a challenge and going through it, that you is being diminished.
Yeah.
So there's the you that is the concept of yourself.
Yeah.
And it has the concept of growing. However, it is not a true growing in the pure self, because when you find yourself as what you truly are, there is no growth taking place. You are just there. You're just there.
So you're going to find out that the growth is only in the process of the natural, but where you are in your eternal self, there's no growth. You are fullness.
And our time is up.
Yeah, you're the fullness of God.
We only got 6 more minutes. Wow. This session went really, really fast. Really, really fast. And thank you guys so much for your comments and all. It's been.
Well, we're going to talk some more now.
Yeah, we're going to talk some more.
We're going to talk some more. And I wonder, how many of you guys out there got your stimulus package yet?
Oh, Lord, there you go.
Yeah, I know you have. It's somewhere. It doesn't come up somewhere.
Well, yeah.
But don't worry about it. You'll be okay. You working in a stimulus ability that's infinite, and you're going to be taken care of from Rudy to Tudor. She said, "Got it. She got it.
Yeah, she got it.
Elaine got it. Okay, Israel got it.
Yeah.
Wilkins got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Phyllis got it.
Tony said this, and I'm going to just post it quickly. He said, I have tried to ignore challenges, but it kept presenting itself back to me until I responded.
Well, that's good.
That's
It should.
right.
It should.
Yes.
But what it's calling for, the response is calling for your infinite eyes to look at
emerge,
it. Emerge.
yes,
That's
to
what it's
emerge.
doing. See, it's pulling up in you.
Because the conditioned self cannot deal with the challenges. It cannot deal with the challenges. So
now the challenge is for you to look at it with the eyes of God and not from the split identities of the monkey mind.
Now, when you guys saying no and not yet, we don't know what you're talking about. So you're going to have to let us know what you're talking about. No. Are you responding to when he said, did you get it? Did you get it? If you didn't get it, don't worry about it. Your mind is just not able to hear what your heart is trying to say.
These challenges are set there for you to come out. Here's the punchline. All of these challenges is to be looked at from the eyes of your infinite self. And that's the answer. The answer is your infinite self, not your mind, not your personality.
Oh, they're responding to your question about the stimulus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got you. Yeah. We got you.
Right, well, we don't
even worry about the stimulus. The government is not our source.
And listen, you are in a season of waking up to your greater self. And that's the reason why these things are coming up. Forgiveness is built into you, and it is not to be ignored. That means forgiving the memories, forgiving the past, forgiving the conditions that you were brought up in, forgiving those areas of your monkey mind that tries to imitate your true identity. You are the piece of God that is not starting somewhere, but have always existed. Forgiveness is something that is already built into you. It's not something that you say or not say. It is recognition that you've done it in your infinite identity.
Yes, Elaine, waking up to your greater self.
That's right, your greater self. You are absolutely great. Okay?
You all are beautiful.
Yes, you are.
You all are powerful. You all are complete.
Goodness. Yes.
Yes, you are.
Yes. I'm looking forward to having a mount of transfiguration on the air, that we will be able to look at the glory of God through each bump and each crisis that seemed to be crisis. I want you to take that crisis in your hand and use it as an opportunity to see it with the eyes of your eternal self. And say, God, you are so real as me in this situation.
Yes. Well, baby girl's gotten up. She knows it's almost 8 o'clock. She's a timekeeper. I swear this dog's got a clock inside of her.
She knows when.
Yes. But she does good during the whole session. We love you guys. And look, we will be back again as Cornerstone on Sunday at 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock, live and in color.
Is it Palm Sunday? It's Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I think it is.
Sunday. Yeah.
Breaker 19. We on the line.
And I'll be back. And I'll be back again. Pastor Norman and I will be back again on Thursday at 2:30. And that's every Thursday at 2:30 for the impromptu. We've been having some good responses from that.
We have.
It's been real good. So I hope you can join us. And if you can't, it's okay. You can always watch the recordings later. We thank you. Go ahead and give if you have your means to give to Cornerstone. We thank you for your tithes and your offerings. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That I think we've got about 200 subscribers right now.
Yeah.
So do that for us if you don't mind. That would be so good to see.
Let me tell you something. I had a chance to sit down at the table and look at the hair growing out of my arm.
Yeah, you said that before.
And that was telling me that there is a mind of God that you don't even have to consciously look at it, but just knowing that your infinite self is working all these parts inside of you. And in the missing parts of the Bible, it tells you that every part of us is born again.
That's right.
Every part of us is born again.
And if we thank you for blessing us as well. Thank you so much for using Cash App and PayPal. And it's on the screen how you can do that. And we thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.